The National Business Initiative is a business-led coalition that has been working for over 30 years to drive South Africa's transformation towards a more ethical, sustainable and inclusive economy. The NBI believes that business has a key role to play in addressing social, environmental and governance challenges through collective action and meaningful partnerships. The NBI's commitment to ethical practices and anti-corruption goes back a long while. Ethics and integrity are at the heart of our work. Without ethical leadership, businesses and economies cannot thrive. Corruption, bribery, and unethical procurement undermine trust, economic stability, and investor confidence. Former Trade and Industry Minister Ibrahim Patel said the South African economy lost as much as 850 billion rand between early 2020 and the last quarter of 2023. In Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index of 2023, South Africa ranked 83rd out of 180 countries, and it scored 43 out of 100, which indicates a high level of perceived corruption in the country. This score suggests that corruption is a significant problem in South Africa, with the country falling below the global average. The NBI is committed to helping businesses build resilience against corruption, promote good governance, and strengthen business integrity across industries. When I reflect on our 30-year leadership journey in ethical leadership, what is obvious is that the power of collaboration is critical in driving ethical change. Over the last 3 decades, the NBI has convened business leaders, government, and civil society to address systemic issues affecting business integrity. Collaboration has been key in shaping ethical leadership, responsible corporate governance, and sustainable business practices. Through multi-stakeholder dialogues, policy influence, and capacity building programs, we've helped businesses embed ethical practices into their operations. Some of the key milestones in advancing ethical business practices and promoting ethical leadership and anti-corruption are as follows. First, partnering with organizations like GIZ and Corruption Watch to strengthen the private sector's role in tackling corruption and aligning with the National Anti-Corruption Strategy. Encouraging businesses to adopt anti-corruption policies, whistleblower protection mechanisms, and transparent procurement practices. By empowering employees with practical tools and ethical decision-making frameworks, the course fosters a culture of accountability, responsible leadership, and corporate integrity. The EOH experience served as a critical case study on corporate corruption, providing key lessons on governance failures, recovery strategies, and the role of ethical leadership in preventing future misconduct. Businesses have a responsibility to ensure their supply chains reflect their ethical values, and they can do this through addressing unethical practices such as fraud, price fixing, and favoritism in procurement. The Ethical Supplier Project, developed in partnership with stakeholders, aims to mainstream integrity amongst SMMEs and foster integrity and ethical business practices. It is designed to empower the small, medium, and micro enterprises by ensuring that they operate ethically and sustainably. It is also a platform for corporate and government to engage in mainstream integrity and sharing lessons learned and best practices. Ethical procurement matters. Ethical procurement is not just about compliance. It is about ensuring fair, transparent, and responsible business practices. Companies that integrate ethical procurement reduce risks, improve supplier relationships, and enhance their reputation. So how does the Ethical Supplier Project support businesses and their associated SMEs? It helps the SMEs navigate procurement challenges and access opportunities in business supply chains. This is done through the Tips and Tails Guide and the Ethical Supplier e-learning platform. It encourages large corporations to work with ethical suppliers, creating a business environment that prioritizes accountability and trust. The report, called Understanding the South African SMME Ecosystem Through an Ethical Lens, has been critical in this regard. It provides stakeholders with an overview of the SMME's experience with ethical practices, as well as through the Integrity Talks podcast series, which amplifies the importance of ethical behavior and leadership through conversation and collaboration. It also aligns with global sustainability and ESG commitments, your environmental, social, and governance issues, which help businesses stay competitive and meet international investor expectations. Through the 5 identified indicators, which are compliance, registration and authentication, procurement, whistleblowing, sustainability, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. These align with the South African National Development Plan to eliminate poverty and reduce inequality by 2030, as well as the National Anti-Corruption Strategy. Further, it aligns with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16, or SDG 16, that promotes peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provides access to justice for all, and builds effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. At the NBI, we firmly believe that ethics and integrity extend far beyond the confines of the corporate world. They are fundamental to the functioning of governments, civil society, and the private sector alike. The pursuit of ethical practices is critical to fostering a trustworthy, sustainable, and inclusive economy. A strong ethical foundation will help to enhance investor confidence by ensuring transparency and reducing risks associated with unethical behavior. It strengthens public trust in both public and private institutions, promoting social stability and enabling long-term success. It also supports the resilience of businesses, enabling them to withstand challenges and adapt to evolving market conditions. At NBI, we advocate for ethical leadership to be embedded at every level of business operations, from the boardroom to the frontline employees. Ethical leadership is not just about having policies in place. It is about making ethical decisions part of the organizational culture, ingrained in every action and choice. Leadership must champion integrity and ensure it is reflected in the values, actions, and decisions made by the business. The absence of accountability leads to systemic failures, from corruption to mismanagement. However, when integrity is prioritized, it fosters sustainable growth, long-term profitability, and a more positive impact on society. As the NBI works towards fostering ethical practices, we understand that every sector plays a vital role in cultivating a culture of integrity. In the business sector, companies need to be at the forefront of ethical decision-making. They need to prioritize transparent governance, enforce responsible business conduct, and contribute to a positive ethical business environment. In the context of governments are responsible for creating an enabling policy environment that not only discourages corruption, but also promotes ethical business practices. Civil society and consumers need to play a crucial role by holding businesses accountable. They must demand greater transparency, responsibility, and ethically driven corporate behavior, thereby reinforcing the collective call for integrity across all sectors. Ethical leadership is not just about ticking boxes. It is about setting the right example and creating lasting impact. Every organization should ask, how are we ensuring integrity in our supply chain? And are we actively promoting a culture of accountability? The NBI remains committed to advancing ethical leadership in business, strengthening partnerships for integrity-driven economic transformation, and ensuring that businesses operate with transparency, accountability, and a commitment to sustainable impact. Integrity is everyone's responsibility. Business leaders, policymakers, and individuals must take proactive steps to foster ethical leadership. Join the conversation, take action, and help shape a future where ethics and business success go hand in hand.